Review question for licensure examination. Area, capture fisheries. Topic, fish stock assessment. Question number 1. A fish stock is a blank. A. Management unit. B. Fisheries unit. C. Unit of exploitation. Or D. All of the above. The answer is all of the above. According to OECD, the living resources in the community or population, use of the term fish stock usually implies that the particular population is more or less isolated from other stock of the same species and hence self-sustaining. In particular fishery, the fish stock may be one or several species of fish. Question number 2. The number of individuals that can be harvested from the population without affecting long-term stability or the average population size is A. Stocking density, B. Population, C. Harvest, or D. Harvest surplus. The answer is harvest surplus. The harvestable surplus is the number of individuals that can be harvested from the population without affecting long-term stability or the average population size. Question number 3. How do you determine a fish's growth pattern? A. By length or width. B. Feeds that been fed. C. By size. Or D. None of the above. The answer is A. By length and width. Growth curve is obtained when either length or width of a fish is plotted against time periods. Question number 4. Define as the number of fish of a given cohort or year class entering the exploitable phase of fishery for a given stock in a period of time by growth of smaller individuals. A. Population. B. Recruitment. C. Stock size. Or D. Population density. The answer is B. Recruitment. Recruitment primarily driven by density independent factor, and this recruitment increased monotonically. Question number 5. Movement associated with foraging or period of recovery phase of the stock. A. Spawning migration. B. Feeding migration. C. Wintering migration. Or D. Dilatant migration. The answer is B. Feeding migration. Marine fish make large migration between their spawning feeding nursery ground. Question number 6. A model used to assess yield from a fish stock which allows for the evaluation of the maximum sustainable yield and optimum levels of stock size. A. Maximum harvest. B. Harvest stock. C. Biggest yield. Or D. Maximum sustainable yield. The answer is D. Maximum sustainable yield, because MSY is a theoretical concept used to extensively fishery science and management and defined as the maximum catch, or that can be the largest catch removed from the population. 7. Are fish stock recovering? A. Yes. B. No. The answer is yes. A. Globally, fish stocks are in fact recovering. New research concludes that roughly 50% of the world ocean fish stock are recovering or already have recovered and are now at proposed target rates. Question number 8. How do you assess fish stock? A. Information on mortality. B. Abundance. C. Compositional information on age, size, or sex ratio. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. To assess fish stock, a time series of abundance information on mortality and compositional information on age, size, or sex ratio. Question number 9. What is the impact of depletion of the fishing stock? A. Economic loss. B. Loss of livelihood. C. Extinction of species. Or D. None of the above. The answer is extinction of species. When too many fish are taken out of the ocean, it creates an imbalance that can erode the food web and lead to a loss of other important marine life, including vulnerable species like turtles and corals. Question number 10. What are the three methods of stock assessment? A. Surplus method. B. Population analysis. C. Statistical catch age. Or D. All of the above. The answer is all of the above. Stock assessment. Common stock assessment models used to assess the status of fisheries and estimate biological reference point are surplus production, virtual population analysis or BPA, and statistical catch at age or SCAA models. Question 11. What is the importance of fish stocks? A. Make more profit. B. Support sustainable fisheries. C. Increase the economy. Or D. None of the above. The answer is B. Support sustainable fisheries. Fish stock assessment supports sustainable fisheries by providing fisheries managers with the information necessary to make sound decisions. Question number 12. Are fish stock is a renewable resources? A. Yes. B. No. The answer is A. Yes. Fisheries are renewable resources because fish are living creatures that can reproduce, grow, and die. Question number 13. What is the characteristic of fish stock? A. Depending on the data. B. Data to be gathered. C. Good maneuvering of the sector. D. Subpopulations of a particular species of fish. The answer is D. Subpopulation of particular species of fish. Fish stock are subpopulation of a particular species of fish for which intrinsic parameters growth, recruitment, mortality, and fishing mortality. Question number 14. What is the stock concept in fisheries? A. To sustain. B. To reduce. C. To manage. Or D. To provide. The answer A is A. To sustain. Use of term fish stock usually implies that the particular population is more or less isolated from other stock of the same species and hence self-sustaining. Question number 15. What are the major threats to fish stocks? A. Climate change. B. Population. C. Overfishing. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing are taking a heavy toll of our fisheries and our planet. Question number 16. What are the main issues facing fisheries productivity? A. Climate change. B. Water pollution. C. Natural disaster. Or D. Resources depletion. The answer is letter D. Resources depletion. The issue facing the fisheries sector are resources depletion, overfishing, and destructive fishing. Question number 17. How do you assess the fish stock? A. Observe data. B. Fish biology. Or C. Fisheries catch. D. All of them. The answer is all of the above. Scientists calibrate the model by using observed data from fishery catch, fish abundance survey, and fish biology. Question number 18. What is the primary objective of the fish stock assessment? A. Fish population. B. Type of species. C. Catch volume. Or D. Provide information to fishery managers. The answer is D. Provide information to fishery managers. The purpose of stock assessment is to provide information to fishery managers that will allow them to control the catch of each species or species complex. Question number 19. Blank may indicate any case in which the population of any species of animal may exceed the carrying capacity of its ecological niche. A. Overpopulation. B. High stocking density. Or C. Maximum sustainable yield. Or D. Overstocking. The answer is overpopulation. Overpopulation refers to a population which exceeds its sustainable size within a particular environment or habitat. Question number 20. The blank, usually denoted by N, is the number of individual organisms in a population. A. Sample, B. Population size, C. Recruitment, or D. Stock? The answer is B. Population size. Population size is a group of organisms of one species that interbreed and live into a number of individual organisms in a population is denoted by. Question number 21. The blank of biological species of environment is a maximum population size of the species that the environment can sustain indefinitely given by the food, habitat, water, and other necessities available in them. A. Net population. B. Carrying capacity. Or C. MSY. Or D. Stock density. The answer is B. Carrying capacity. Carrying capacity can be defined as a species' average population size in a particular habitat. The species population size is limited by the environmental factor like inadequate food, shelter, water. Question number 22. Blank is the number of individuals can be harvested from the population without affecting long-term stability or the average population size. A. Population. B. Harvestable surplus. Or C. Harvest. Or D. Density, stock density. The answer is B. Harvestable surplus. The harvestable surplus is the number of individuals that can be harvested from the population without affecting long-term stability, the average population size. Question number 23. Largest catch that can be taken from a fishery stock. A. Maximum yield. B. Biggest yield. C. Highest stock. Or D. Maximum sustainable yield. The answer is D. Maximum sustainable yield. MSY is a theoretical concept and extensively in the fishery science and management. Fishery, MSY is defined as the maximum catch or that can be largest catch removed from a population over a. Question number 24. A model used to assess yield from a fish stock which allow for the evaluation of maximum sustainable yield and optimum levels of stock size and or exploitation. A. Dynamic model. B. Surplus production model. C. Logistic model. D. Growth equation model. The answer is B. Surplus production model. Common stock assessment model used to assess the status of fishery and estimate biological reference points are surplus production model. Number 25. This equation is a stock recruitment relationship describing a group of herd with a low recruitment and a high level of stock abundance. It implies strong density dependence, the curve increasing geometrically over a range of stock size. A. Growth equation. B. Recurrent equation. Or C. Ford-Warford growth equation. D. Von Bertalanffy growth equation. The answer is B. The Ricker recruitment equation. According to Ricker in 1954, Burton and Holt by 1957 at stock size, recruitment is primarily driven by density-independent factor and this recruitment increased monotonically with stock size. However, at large stock size, other factor density-dependent effect or more influence. Question number 26. This equation is a stock recruitment relationship describing a group of recruitment curves. Those are asymptotic. It implies a progressive arithmetic reduction of recruitment stock size increase. A. The Burton and Holt equation. B. Ricker recruitment equation. C. Ford Warford group equation. Von Bertalanffy group equation. The answer is A. The Beverton and Holt equation. These conjectures assert that based on a model that using the dynamic Beverton-Holt equation, a periodic environment is deleterious for the population. Question number 27. Method used in establishing the age composition of a stock which involves the use of otolite scales, spines, and raised and bony structures. A. Analysis of length frequency distribution. B. Mark and recapture techniques. C. Hard part analysis. D. Age weight frequency. The answer is C. The hard part analysis. Hard fact analysis is the knowledge of fish age characteristic is necessary for stock assessment and to develop speculate on the use of the hard part of fish. Question number 28. Defined as a number of fish of a given cohort or year, thus entering the exploitable phase of fishery for a given stock in a period of time by growth of similar indicators. A. Population. B. Recruitment. C. Stock size. Or D. Population size. The answer is B. Recruitment. Recruitment to the exploitable phase is a number of individuals of a stock that enter a fishery area for the first time each year. Question number 29. Indirect method of estimating fish population which is quite useful in estimating the size of the spawning stock from which inference of the size of the total stock can be made. A. Swept area volume method. B. Egg and larva survey. C. Acoustic techniques. Or D. Release and capture method. B. Egg and larva survey. Egg and larvae and juvenile may be survive, determine distribution, abundance, and for well-known species, survival and dispersal may also be estimated. This chapter examines literature on distribution of abundance surveys. Question number 30. Method used in establishing the age composition of a stock which involves the use of group weights inferred from marking and tagging experiment, infer age and length. A. Analysis of length, frequency distribution. B. Hard part analysis. C. Mark and recapture techniques. Or D. Age weight frequency. The answer is the C. Mark and recapture techniques. The mark recapture techniques is used to estimate the size of the practical count every individual. The basic idea is that capture a small number of individuals, a harmless mark them is then back. Question number 31. Method used in establishing the age composition of stock which involves the use of length composition information which is separated to normal components and subsequent assignment which with age. A. Analysis of length distribution. B. Hard part analysis. C. Mark and recapture techniques. D. Age with frequency. The answer is A. Analysis of length distribution. Length frequency distribution measurements are fundamental to many aspects of the fishery science. Length frequency distribution of any fish in sport that could the status of the size structure of the fish population. Question number 30. First, to associated with the activity of the stock. A. Spawning migration. B. Denatant migration. C. Wintering migration. D. Feeding migration. The answer is A. Spawning migration. Movement associated with the reproductive activity may result in spawning aggregation or simple migratory spawn. Question number 30. Is it capable of independent exploitation and management, containing as much of their breeding or as few productive isolated or possible? A. Cohort. B. Group. C. Stock. D. Species. The answer is C. Stock. Stock is a unit capable of independent exploitation and management, containing as much as an interbreeding unit or as few reproductively isolated as possible. 1970. Question number 34. Refers an average quantity of fish that can be harvested from a given fish stock that will result is the best benefit to society. A. NSY. B. OPY. Or C. MEY. Or D. OSY. The answer is OSY. OSY is the average quantity of fish harvestable on a sustainable basis from a given stocks that results in the greatest benefits of society. Question number 35. Define as the largest average quantity of the fish that can be taken or harvested from a given fish stock on a sustainable basis under existing environmental conditions. A. Maximum sustainable yield. B. Catch limit. C. Sustainability. Or D. None. A. Maximum sustainable yield. According to BFAR, maximum sustainable yield or MSY, is the largest average quantity of the fish that can be harvested from fish stocks resources in a period of time in a sustainable basis under existing environmental conditions. Question number 36. The following are the management measures in the population to ensure maximum production except for A. Fishing effort regulation, B. Increased stock size relative, B. Both A and B, or D. None of the above. The answer is D. None of the above. According to POW, fish stock and communities are finite and biological production constraints are scheme to have the limit are the example of management measures. Question number 37. A method used to determine stock size by simply counting the catch in a specified time, area, and A. Direct count, B. CPU, E. CMARC recapture method, or D. Survival and mortality. The answer is A. Direct count. Direct count methods normally used by small time fishermen. Question number 38. Which of the following factor does affect the stock size? A. Population of food organism, B. Community interaction, C. Environmental influence, or the answer is D. All of the above. Stock size are affected of the following: population of food organism, environmental influence. Question number 39. The fraction of the stock that is in area where it is susceptible given fishing gear session. A. Stock, B. Resources, C. Population, or D. Availability. The answer is D. Availability. Tools that easy to obtain and ready to use. For highly migratory fish stock means all fish stock of the species listed in Annex 1 of 1982 United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea. Each of these species are considered highly migratory. A. Albacore tuna, B. Marlins, C. pomfrets, or D. All of the above. The answer is all of them. 41. Fish are caught below the size or age required for reproduction. A. Growth overfishing, B. Ecosystem overfishing, C. Recruitment overfishing, or economic overfishing. The answer is growth overfishing. Growth overfishing occurs when the fish are harvested at an average size that is smaller than the size that would produce the maximum yield for recruit. Question number 42. An objective of stock assessment is to A. Increase the price of the fish, B. To elevate social status, C. Arrive at the maximum effort yield, or D. Not. The answer is C. Arrive at the effort. The purpose of stock assessment is to provide information to fishing managers that will allow them to control the catch of each species or species complex or the effort directed it so that ideally population can. Question number 43. Which one below is characteristic of fish stock? A. Similar development, B. Similar growth, C. Similar mortality, or D. All of the above. The answer is all of the above. Fish stock are subpopulation of the particular species of a fish, for which intrinsic parameter growth, mortality, and fishing mortality are traditionally regarded as the significant factor determining the stock's population dynamics. Question number 44. Evaluation of estimation of the size of productive of given resources. A. Resources management. C. Stock assessment. The answer is C. Stock assessment. It involves evaluating possible consequences of alternative action across the competing hypotheses about systems data. Number 45. Which of the following culture system that has been lowest stocking digit? A. Extensive system, B. Semi-extensive system, C. Extensive system, or D. Super intensive system. The answer is A. Extensive system. Number 46. The following are the measures to undertake in order to minimize the water-associated problem. Which among the given statement is a sound idea to consider? A. Utilize a certain body of water as industrial waste stockhouse since it has the ability to replenish itself. B. Enhance vegetation on the beyond water. C. Proper exploitation of resources. D. Control stocking rate in certain. The answer is utilize a certain body. A. Utilize the certain body of water as an industrial waste stock house since it has the ability to replenish itself. Hazardous waste are waste of product that have the potential to harm human or the environment. Either now or in the future. There are many options to help you dispose of the household hazardous waste safely, protect the environment, and keep your own safety. Recycling programs are available for some hazardous waste. Question number 47. Following are significance of no stock size except A. Measured utilization. B. Vision of fundamental statistics. C. Index of productivity. Or D. None of them. The answer is D. None of them. 48. It's either the number of individual or weight of stock in type. A. Stock size. B. Population size. C. Biomass. Or D. All of them. The answer is all of them. Question number 49. How do we enhance fish stock assessment? A. Stock size. B. Population size. C. Proper assessment. Or D. All of them. The answer is C. Proper assessment. Proper assessment will help to sustain and enhance the current situation of fish stock management. Question number 50. In order to sustain a fish stock, what do you think are possible techniques? A. Management unit. B. Increase stocking density. C. Fund on fishery unit. Or D. All of them. The answer is all of the above. Large factor to sustain a fish stock are the following. Management unit is the stocking density and fund fishery sector stock.